Welcome to Wildman and Wool. Hello everyone, welcome to Wildman and Wool. Today we're going to do one of my favorite videos to watch, which is everything that I've knit so far in 2026. I'm putting a little twist on it because I wanted to calculate how many miles of yarn I've knit with so far this year. I definitely knit a lot. If you don't believe me, this band-aid on my finger is because I wore a hole in my finger from knitting. So beware of your sharper needles because they can do that. So I'm going to start going through everything that I've made this year, mostly in the order that I've made it, but I don't quite remember everything perfectly. And there's also some things that will be left out, things that I've made and given away, or things that I've just forgot about. So let's get started. This is Fred, by the way. He has to be right next to me at all times, so he'll probably be in most of this video. And I'm not going to be trying everything on in this video. If you're interested in seeing all of this tried on, head over to my Instagram, which is WildmanandWool, all one word, to see a try-on video. So one of the first projects that I made this year was this pair of socks. I followed the book Two Socks in One. I don't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but I will put it on the screen. And they came out really nicely. I have all of my list of everything that I've made written down with the yarn label, so hopefully I know most of the yarns. This was Apple and Oak Fiber Works. I'll be doing the measurements for individual projects in yards and then letting you know at the end how many miles that adds up to. So take a guess now and stay until the end to find out. These socks use 260 yards of yarn. The next project is this test project I made. It's a winter headband, and I made this because the yarn I have, which I'll be showing you next, was very nice. So I wanted to make a project out of scrap yarn first to test out the pattern to make sure that I liked everything so I didn't have to knit with the nice yarn and undo it a bunch of times. This was made out of some hand-dyed sock yarn that I got at the Boston Fiber Festival in 2024, and I used 64 yards. So now for the real headband. This yarn I got as a Christmas gift, and it is Kiviot, which is muskox hair yarn. So it is from Muskox Farm, which is in Alaska, and it's super soft and super warm. I self-drafted a lace pattern for the headband, and I love it and I wear it all the time in the winter. For this project, I used 48 yards, so less yardage of this yarn than for the red one. I believe I went up a needle size for this one. I guess I was making a lot of accessories in the beginning of this year because this next one is also an accessory. These are the Starlight Fingerless Gloves by Hooked on Victoria. I did these as a test crochet, so this video is crochet and knitting. And I love them. I wear them a lot. The yarn is Lang Yarn Surrey Alpaca. For those, I used 83 yards. The next one, another accessory, is this sparkly bandana. I wore this as a belt a lot in the winter. It's a super cute accessory, dresses up a normal pair of jeans. I followed a pattern from Ravelry. It was free. I believe it was called the December Scarf, and I'm not sure who that is by, but if I find the name, I'll put it on the screen. I'm not going to pronounce the name of this yarn right. I think it's Lane du Nord, in the type is Arme, and the color is 1020. For this I used 222 yards. Moving out of accessories, my first big piece that I finished this year, I believe I started and finished it all in January, is this sweater. This is the Ovis sweater by Boyland Knitworks. I had been eyeing this pattern for so long, and I finally got to make it. It's my favorite sweater. Hopefully you can see it has sheep all over it. The yarn I used was Blue Sky Fibers wool stock, which is also one of my favorite yarns to work with. For this I used 1,222 yards. Something I love to make for a little winter accessory when you don't quite want a sweater but you still want a little bit of fiber in there is a thneed. So it's a bolero, but I like to call them thneeds. It's all stockinette, but the reverse side of it, so the purl side, which I thought gave it a little bit more texture, even though this yarn has a lot of texture on its own. This is a wool and alpaca boucle yarn that I got at Rhinebeck from Fiber Land. For this, I used 206 yards. Something that I put in the calculation, but I just recently sold, so I don't have it anymore. I'll insert a picture here. Is the Harry Styles Kiss All the Time Disco Occasionally top, the blue knitted top that he wore on the album cover. I knit this just for fun. As soon as I saw a picture of it, As soon as I saw a picture of it, I knew I had to make it. I did make a typo in the writing. I put 2 I's in the word time, but I was still able to sell it, so I hope whoever got it is enjoying wearing it. I used Rowan Kid Silk's. Oh, he's coughing. I used Rowan Kid Silk's, and I used 518 yards. That was all using one strand of Kid Silk's, so it took a long time. I tried my hand at making a short sleeve thneed for the first time. It's more of a super crop t-shirt, but I like to call it my short sleeved thneed. This is chunky mohair from Yellow Dog Farm in Vermont. It's Geraldine's Tresses, and this is in the color Cayenne Red. For this project, I only had 1 skein of this yarn, so I had to be super careful and weigh it out so that I knew where my halfway point was. But this project took 223 yards. This cardigan I made as a school project. I'm a college fashion major, so last semester I got to do some knitwear. This cardigan I ended up giving to my mom because I didn't quite like it on myself, but she gets a lot of wear out of it, so I'm very happy for that. This is made out of Plymouth Yarn's Baby Alpaca Brush. It's the quilted lattice stitch, and it's also striped and raglan. So a lot going on in this. I did self-draft this, and the buttons were vintage. The neckline was a little bit stretchy, so I ended up crocheting some clear elastic thread into it, and now it fits perfectly. This project took 647 yards. I'm in a different outfit because I forgot a couple of things. So I forgot some other things that I made for school. I don't have them on me. I'll insert pictures here. The first one is I bought a Centro knitting machine before I bought my real knitting machine because I had some knitting projects to do for school and I didn't have time to hand knit all of them. So the first is this super cute Centro skirt that was worn with the blue striped cardigan, and that one was made out of discount Michael's yarn that I got for I think $3 a skein, so that was a steal, and that used 378 yards. It is double lined. The second is, picture here, a floor length dress that I made entirely on the Centro knitting machine. This was again made out of discount Michael's yarn, and that used 1,513 yards. This next one is one that I am super excited about. For those of you who don't know, this that I'm wearing is one of my very first patterns called the Fernando Tank. It's named after my bunny, whose name is Russell Fernando. And it's my best-selling pattern. It's a great pattern for advanced beginners, adventurous beginners. And I thought of a new iteration of it in the winter, and I got so excited to make it. So this is it. This is the Fernando Tank Sport. It's a little bit of a sportier take with the irregular ribbing on the sides and the stockinette front panels, stockinette on the back, and I-cord edges around the armholes, just like the Fernando Tank. If you want to check it out, you can find it on my Etsy shop, which is WildmanandWool. This is made out of Jody Long Coastline, which is in my top 3 favorite yarns to work with. I love that yarn so much, especially for the summer. This is also Jody Long Coastline. This was in the color Deep Ocean, and I used 435 yards. So I'm a whale shark enthusiast, and in March I got to go to the Georgia Aquarium and see a whale shark for the first time. So of course I made this top to wear there. This was loosely inspired by my Fernando Tank sport design, but it's not part of the pattern because I kind of just modified it a little bit to give it the scoop neckline, and I used the lighter weight yarn. And then I did intarsia to make the whale shark. This was made in Barocco modern cotton, and I used 452 yards. This one is showing up very aggressively on the camera, but this is the Eloise tank, or the Eloise vest, I think it's tank, by Cozy Fairy Knits. I think it's still a free pattern. I downloaded it years ago and it was free at the time. This is my second time making this pattern and I love it. I wear these all the time and it's the perfect summer little layering piece. It's a vest style, so it ties in the middle and it's this beautiful lace pattern. Super pretty, super lightweight and flowy for the summer. I made this in, I don't know how to say this one, Sadnessgarn Tinleen? I don't know. It's a nice crispy yarn. If you get it, you get it. And I used 529 yards. This is crochet too, by the way. This is another pattern that I made this year. This is called the Niles poncho. It doesn't look like much when it's off, but here, I'll demonstrate. She's super cute. This is a sparkly version. The yarn is Katya Gatsby, and I think the color's just black. It's got some silver in it. I hopped on the poncho trend, and yeah, if you're interested in this pattern, this is also on my Etsy shop, WildmanandWool. This is called the Niles poncho. It's, again, an advanced beginner to intermediate pattern, as are most of my patterns. For this I used 300 yards. This is another Niles poncho. This one was for my mom. I needed to make a second sample, but I didn't need 2 of them, so I gave it to her. This was made from the remnants of Barocco modern cotton from my whale shark top from earlier, and also has some sparkly yarn thrown in. It has gold sequins. I don't know what yarn that was. I just had it in my stash. This project was more of an estimate on the yardage because of the 2 different yarns being used, but I believe I used 335 yards for this one. This is my Allino Tank. I believe the designer is called Woolbird, but I will double check that one. And this was made in Barocco Summer Sesame. It's so pretty. It's tweed and heathered kind of all at the same time. And for this one I used 468 yards. I made this little tube top because something that was on my knitting bingo card that I made at the beginning of this year was to use beads in my knitting. So I took apart an old bracelet and I used the beads while I cast it off to make a pretty little beaded edge for this. I used 324 yards. In May, I ended up buying a knitting machine because I'm going to need it for some projects next year. And this is one of my tester projects that I did on the knitting machine. It's just a little bandana. It has a double folded band at the front and I-cord straps. This was made in Lion Brand Yarns Kobu, and I used 67 yards. This is a top that I designed in May/June, and it will be coming out as a pattern at some point. I don't have a clear timeline as to when, but it will be called the Tiger Lion Tie Top. It has bow ties on the sides and a V-neck, and I'm not sure how well it's showing up, but it has purling details within the stockinette to create a kind of chevron pattern. The yarn I used for this is Barocco Chai, which is discontinued, and I'm so sad about it because it's one of my favorite yarns I've ever used. Another nice, crispy, cool yarn. So get it while you can. And I used 389 yards. This is another Tigerline tie top I made, except this one I made on my knitting machine. Maybe you can see the purl details better on this one. This yarn was by Compass and Crow Studios, a yarn store in Arizona, and it's a bamboo linen. I used 822 yards. And then I went on a bit of a Sandok shorts frenzy, so I got the Sandok shorts pattern by, I don't know if I say her name right, I think it's Tuva Sandok. Her shorts pattern is amazing. I highly recommend. This yarn is from Fiber Stash Dye Works. It's their sock yarn in the color Potluck. I use about 2 skeins. You hold a fingering yarn double for this project. So holding it double, I used 404 yards. My last project is another pair of Sandok shorts. This is in Juniper Moon Farms Zoe, and I love these too. I do like my wool ones a little better because I think they hold their shape a lot better, but the linen ones are nice. I used 400 yards. So in total, that was 10,641 yards. It comes out to just over 6 miles, so it's 6.0460227. So we can just say 6. 6 miles I knit this year. I think I can knit a half marathon by the end of this year. What do you think? Let me know, but I think we can do it. Thank you for watching and happy knitting.